The 2018 Kia Stinger GT is a breath of fresh air in the Korean automaker's lineup. After years of building cheap and mostly forgettable appliances, Kia and Hyundai finally started to build truly solid products that no longer needed to be marketed as just a value proposition. Once the company finally got reliability, build quality and styling down, it really needed to focus on performance if it had any plans to be a fully rounded automaker. Hyundai is doing very much the same thing with cars like the new Veloster N. On paper, we should be comparing the Stinger GT to cars like the Dodge Charger. Size, pricing and power are all about the same, but that's not really where we're at. Kia is talking more about cars like the Audi A5, BMW 3 Series and other luxury sedans, and that's how we're seeing it too. It shows just where Kia is aiming with this car. The car we have this week is the base GT, the lowest spec model available with the 365 horsepower twin-turbo V6. This is the same engine that's available in the Genesis G80 Sport. While the GT1 trim doesn't get things like a moonroof or a 720-watt stereo system, it's still pretty well equipped. You get heated leather seats, power front seats, a touchscreen infotainment system with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, keyless entry and dual-zone climate control. Performance upgrades include Brembo brakes and 19-inch wheels with Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tires. Our car was wearing all seasons thanks to Old Man Winter. Associate Editor Joel Stockdale: ever since I attended the Stinger's debut in Detroit last year, I've been eager to drive one. On paper, it sounds bang on. It has aggressive, muscular styling inside and out, is only available in rear or all-wheel drive, and has a pair of potent turbo engines, either a 255 horsepower 4-cylinder or a 365 horsepower V6. Finally, this past week, I had the chance to drive a rear-drive GT with the twin-turbo V6, and it absolutely lived up to expectations. One of the first things that delighted me was the steering and handling. The helm is very quick and accurate, and the chassis feels light, communicative, and easy to manage. This was particularly helpful since, although I drove it on the one warm day in Detroit this winter, it was still wet and slippery outside. The engine is a charmer, too. It's not the best sounding thing in the world, and there is a bit of waiting on the turbos, but it packs some serious punch and makes on-ramps and highway passing something to look forward to. I hardly have any complaints with this thing. I deeply wish Kia would offer a manual, even on the 4-cylinder, and that's the big one, but it wouldn't be a deal breaker. Following that, I would say the interior might be the weakest point, since there are a lot of plastics about. But they're attractive and soft touch. If I get really nitpicky, there are sports sedans that might have advantages in any one area such as engine or steering, but the Kia does everything extremely well, and it does so at a price that established competitors can't match. Associate Editor recounts: like Joel, I've been interested in the Stinger GT for a long time. We all love performance cars, especially when they offer a lot for relatively little money. The Stinger GT was offering rear-wheel drive and a twin-turbo V6 packed into a roomy, stylish sedan for just under $40,000. I think everyone in the industry took note. The driving position is fantastic. Low visibility, especially out the rear, is compromised a bit thanks to the styling. It doesn't move and feel like a car this big, unlike something like the Dodge Charger or Ford Taurus. The thin-rimmed steering wheel feels just right in your hands. The feedback is good, but not great. It's quick and weighted well, but sometimes I wish I was getting a bit more from the road. Maybe the standard summer tires would help. The suspension is firm without being harsh, something I was concerned about when I saw the 19-inch wheels. In the Kia Comfort mode, the Stinger GT feels a little lazy off the line. Switch things to Sport mode and it really comes alive. Power comes on smooth and low thanks to 2 turbos and a copious amount of torque. Joel didn't seem too hot on the exhaust note, but I think it sounds pretty decent for a V6. I like the 8-speed, too. Shifts are quick when they need to be and smooth most other times. Rear-wheel drive may not be the best for winter, but it is the most fun. It's not difficult to get the tail out, but it never feels out of control when you do.